Hey guys, welcome back to Cop World Series. I'm your host, Pete Thron, also the author of End of Tour. Today I'm going to talk about a very dangerous job that a police officer answers. It's domestic disputes. Being a cop, I'm an ex-cop, I guess. I'm able to personally see in a person's eyes if they have some kind of evil in them or if they're up to no good. I guess all cops have that intuition. It's just in a cop. It just is. I'm going to talk about a job that I responded to when I was in uniform. I probably had about 2 or 3 years on the job. And this job, to this very day, it haunts me because I made the wrong decision with not going with my gut feeling. I went against that, and I listened to other people tell me not to do what I was going to do. I was going to lock the guy up. Let's get back into the actual job. I responded to a regular dispute, not violent, at the Wagner houses. It was during a 412 shift, and when I got up to the apartment, I could hear people arguing. About 2 or 3 people, maybe even 4. Couldn't really tell at that time, but several people were arguing back and forth. I knocked on the door, and a young Spanish woman, probably in her 20s, answered the door. She was nice looking. She had brown eyes, long brown hair. She spoke English, and explained to me that her parents were fighting for the past few weeks because the mother had filed for divorce and the father didn't want the divorce, didn't want to get out of the apartment. And it's hard to get somebody out of an apartment if they've been there for over 30 days. It's just the law in New York City. So I was watching them go back and forth, arguing, and at one point the father went to shove the mother, and I got into the middle of them, and I wanted to arrest them. I wanted to take my cuffs out and arrest them. Well, my partner said, no, we'll bring him out of the apartment. We'll have him walk it off and stay away for the night. He took him in the hallway, and I was speaking to the woman, the wife, and the young lady, and she was translating. And I had told her, go downtown, get an order of protection. I told her where to go, what to basically say in the order of protection, so he would have to be away from her by 1,000 feet. We took the guy downstairs, and we escorted him several blocks away where he said he could stay with a friend for the night. There was something in that guy's eyes that I didn't trust at all, and I said to my partner, we should have locked him up because he's no good. He just isn't good. He's not right. But that request fell on deaf ears. You know, we went back up to the house to have some food, and we got called right back to the apartment within 1 or 2 hours. But this time the call was for a violent dispute and possibly a man with a gun. I shot him a look and said, let's go. This is going to be a problem. We got up to the apartment, and I heard the young girl screaming, don't shoot her. Don't kill mommy. At that point, I was banging on the door telling him, let me in or I'm kicking the door in. Problem is the housing doors are made of steel, and they're extremely hard to get in. I've kicked other doors in. Housing doors are very, very hard to get in with a foot. So my partner was immediately on the radio calling for a housing boss, any issue. I turned to him, I said, I'm taking the door, I don't care. He said, don't do it because the boss is coming. I said, he's going to kill her. We got to take the door. A few seconds later, I heard a loud explosion. Louder than a regular handgun. You know, a 38 has a certain sound to it. This was louder. And then I heard the daughter screaming, you killed her, you killed mommy. Why? And I immediately said, we got to take this door. She's a hostage now. And as I was going to kick the door in, my housing boss came up and said, stand down, get away from the door. I told him, we got to take it. He just killed somebody in there. He's got a young girl hostage. He said, stand down or you're going to be suspended. I was still doing the job. I just was off probation. There's nothing else I could do. I was pissed, and to me, they were being cowards. They weren't risking their lives to save somebody else. ESU came in. They set up a machine that would spread the door, and they were getting ready to batter it with a battering ram. And that's when I heard a second shot. And then I heard the girl screaming. He just shot himself. He killed himself. Seconds later, the door was broken open by ESU. I was about the third person on the scene, and it was just a total bloodbath. The living room, walls were splattered with blood and brain matter. The TV was, and the wife was laying down, face down on the floor. And the back of her head looked like a canoe, and she didn't have a face anymore. The daughter was screaming, so I grabbed her out. She was covered in blood, brain matter on her face, and she was a mess. And this woman would never be the same ever again. That man destroyed her life and killed his wife. I got a neighbor to take her in to help her with some phone calls to calm her down. I went back into the scene, and I was assigned to be the officer that was going to safeguard the scene. And then I'd have to go down to the morgue and identify the bodies the next day. In the kitchen, the husband was laying down in a pool of blood. The kitchen refrigerator had blood all over it with brains. The walls, and up on the ceiling, there was splattered with blood and brain matter, and it was dripping down. Actually dripped down on me. What he did was he put the gun under his chin and shot himself. The handgun was a .357 Magnum, which is one of the most powerful handguns that we know of. He also had hollow point bullets in it, which upon impact will spread and make the wound wider. It makes the hole wider as it goes out. That's why the woman didn't have a face, because it just blew her whole face up. The man had executed his wife. He made her kneel down and executed her because he thought that she was cheating on him. He thought she was having an affair with somebody. He also destroyed his daughter's life, because that woman will never be the same. It's impossible. Impossible. I live with the decision that I didn't arrest him every day, because I could have probably saved that woman's life for at least that day, maybe that week. I don't know what would have happened later on, but I could have saved that. Could have gave her another day or two, or a week, maybe even another year, whatever it is. And that decision will stay with me for the rest of my life. Domestic violence is so big in our country. So if you are a victim, tell a family member or a friend and get help and get the hell out of that relationship. Because it's not going to change. Once a person starts to hit you or threaten you, it's not going to change. They don't change. It just gets worse and worse. Please be safe during these times with the coronavirus. It's really, really dangerous right now. It's bad. Keep your gloves on and your mask when you're outside. Keep the social distancing to where they're saying you have to, because you don't want to spread it. I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did, hit the like and subscription button. There's more to come. And if you're inside, pick up my book, End of Tour. There's so many more stories and what happened to me, because I was so obsessed with becoming a detective, and what I went through after that. And that obsession was my downfall. Hope you enjoyed this episode. Please take care. Be safe. Till next time, have a great day.